All right, let's talk about being a night owl. That constant battle between when you want to sleep and when the world says you have to sleep. Is it just a bad habit or is there something else going on? Let's get into it.
I mean, do you ever just feel permanently jet lagged even though you haven't gone anywhere? You're dragging yourself through the morning, feeling totally out of it, and then bam, it's 10 p.m. and you're suddenly wide awake, just as everyone else is shutting down. Well, if that sounds like you, it turns out that feeling is very real. It actually has a name, social jet lag. And no, it is not just in your head. It's a genuine clash between your internal body clock and the schedule that society expects you to keep. So, what's really going on here? Is it our habits? Or is it something a lot deeper? We're going to look at three main causes, and we'll start with the most basic one of all, your own biology. It's possible you're just wired this way. For some people, this is way more than a preference. It's an actual medical condition called delayed sleep phase disorder, or DSPD for short. Basically, your body's master clock, the one that controls when you feel sleepy, when you feel alert, all of that, is shifted. It's running hours behind what's considered normal. And just look at how dramatic that shift can be. A typical schedule might be lights out at 11 p.m., up at 7 a.m., but for someone with DSPD, their body might not be ready for sleep until 4 in the morning, and their natural wake-up time is closer to 1 in the afternoon. Trying to force that person into a 9-to-5 job, it's literally like making them live with a brutal case of jet lag every single day. And here's a really important thing to understand about DSPD. It's not that you can't sleep. You can sleep perfectly fine, just at the quote-unquote wrong time. Because of this, it gets misdiagnosed as insomnia all the time. In fact, research shows it could be the real cause behind as many as 13% of chronic insomnia cases, but a lot of people just never get the right diagnosis. Okay, so biology can definitely be a huge factor. But what if it isn't your internal wiring? What if it's your environment? Let's move on to our second cause, which is a massive part of modern life, the nightly showdown between your phone and your brain. Researchers have been looking at just how much our devices affect us, and the numbers are pretty wild. One study found that it only takes about 2 hours of using a screen in the evening to significantly delay your body's internal clock. Just 2 hours. And what's the actual biological fallout from that screen time? A 55% drop in melatonin. That's the hormone that tells your body, hey, it's nighttime, time to sleep. So we're talking about a massive hormonal disruption from something most of us do every single night without even thinking about it. It's a really simple but powerful chain reaction. Your screen shines that blue light into your eyes. Your eyes send a signal to your brain that basically says, shh, it's still daytime out. And your brain goes, oh, okay, and slams the brakes on making melatonin. The result? Your body's natural cue to fall asleep gets pushed back, sometimes by hours. So we've covered biology and the environment. But there's a third reason we stay up late, and this one is more psychological. It's less about your body clock and more about a feeling, a conscious choice to take back your time. I think this quote just nails it, right? You're exhausted, you absolutely know you should go to sleep, but you stay up anyway for just one more episode or one more scroll. And in that moment, it doesn't feel like you're messing up your sleep. It feels like you're finally getting a little bit of your life back. And there's a perfect name for this: revenge bedtime procrastination. You're literally taking revenge on a busy, stressful day that didn't leave you any time for yourself. It's a direct pushback against burnout culture. You're choosing to give up sleep just to have a few hours that actually feel like your own. And this really shows that internal conflict, what experts call the intention-behavior gap. During the day, you have the best intentions. Tonight's the night, I'm going to bed early. But then, after a long day, nighttime you takes over, and that version of you has a totally different goal. I worked hard, I deserve this. And since our self-control is at its lowest at night, that need for me time almost always wins. So we've laid out the problems: our biology, our environment, and our psychology. Now let's talk about what we can actually do about it. Let's look at a toolkit for finding your rhythm, with strategies for each of these causes. This chart kind of lays it all out. If you suspect it's biological, you could look into things like bright light therapy in the morning. It uses light to help gently shift your internal clock earlier. If the problem is environmental, the big thing is creating a screen-free buffer zone. Put the phone away at least 30 minutes before bed to give your melatonin a chance to rise. And if it's psychological, that revenge procrastination, the solution isn't about having more willpower at night. It's about scheduling that me time during the day so you don't feel like you have to steal it from your sleep later. And this brings us to one last, much bigger thought. We've spent all this time talking about how night owls can adapt to fit the world, but maybe we're asking the wrong question. Instead of asking, how do we fix night owls, maybe we should be asking, how can our 9 to 5 world become flexible enough for everyone? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.